What is up, everybody? This week, I'm here to talk about the bars and stripes, the rebels, you guessed it, the Confederate flag. Now, a lot of people have misconstrued the rebel flag and what it actually means. I'm here to talk to you about what it means and what it actually stands for. Now, you see, the meaning of the rebel flag is, first of all, the red stands for the blood of Christ. The white border stands for the protection of God. The X stands for St. Andrews, and you can look this up, was the first Christian of Jesus. So, in translation, the rebel flag actually means, through the blood of Christ with the protection of God, we, the 13 states, are in our Christian fight for liberty. Now, a lot of you may say that it was the people who had slaves in the South and represented slavery in the South. That's actually not true, because as well as there was slavery in the South, there was also a lot of slavery in the North. Maryland and Delaware both was a slavery state. Maryland held 12% of Maryland's population was plantations and slave owners. Delaware was 3% of their population was slave states. So that's just something to pick at your brain. And everybody's talking about how we need to ban the rebel flag, just completely abolish it, outlaw it, this, that, and the other. There's actually a professor, I forget which school, there's a professor who is trying to make the rebel flag a hate crime. Now, this is something that kind of mind-boggled me when I looked this up, that for the rebel flag to be totally just gone, to totally annihilated, it would cost to name thousands, if not millions, of streets, landmarks, and not only that, and historical events. In Pennsylvania, there is someone who is trying to take the rebel flag out of the reenactment of Gettysburg, which was the bloodiest battle in American history. They're trying to outlaw it. So what are you going to have to do? You're going to have the Union on both sides? Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. People are trying to rewrite history by trying to take out the rebel flag they're making it into some huge deal, when really, if you do the research, if you look it up, it's not what it means. What people are saying for it, it's not what it means at all. And you also have to look at, Lincoln didn't even really care about slavery. He honestly he didn't care whatsoever. Like, there's quotes that he made he actually, for those of you who don't know, Lincoln was born in Kentucky. I'm a Kentuckian. Lincoln was born in Kentucky, so he was born in a neutral state, as Kentucky was, or a slave state. Some might say was this and that. That's why they had to cross the Ohio River. That way they can totally be free, because Kentucky was a neutral state. And he didn't care about it. And the funny part about it was the Emancipation Proclamation wasn't formed until 2 years before the war ended. The war started in April 12th, 1861. The Emancipation Proclamation didn't come in until 1863. So why would they wait that long, unless it was something done by his advisors or something like that? If he truly cared about slavery, he would have done something earlier. And I got some notes here that I'm trying to look off of. and so I don't get why they would wait that long. And it mind boggles me. And even though that a lot of people say that the Confederate flag is racist, you have to look at historically there was a lot of blacks who fought on the Confederate side willingly. They willingly served and fought and died. So as much as there is white blood on the Confederate flag, there was black blood too, because they wanted to go into the war. And let's look at the cost of a slave real quick, okay? So gold in 1863 was $20.67. Now it's $1,000, 318. So $1,318. And so in today's money, a slave would cost $40,000. It's pretty ridiculous, if you ask me. And let's take a look at this. And some of you might say that the Civil War was the result, or that the KKK was formed during the Civil War. That's actually not even true. The KKK wasn't formed until 6 months after the Civil War ended, which was December 24th, 1865, which is crazy. And towards the end, the Yankees, and yes, I'm not going to be politically correct, I'm going to call them Yankees because that's what they are, destroyed farms. This made the blacks homeless, and even jobless. The North did worse things to the South than the South did to the North. And you have to think about Reconstruction, like trying to build all that up. That takes a lot of time. And so, guys, I really hope this opened up your eyes and showed you what the actual Confederate flag means. That the rebel flag does not represent racism. It does not represent hatred. It does not represent prejudice. Or is that even a word? Anyway, it is now because I just said it. It does not mean any of those things. What the rebel flag means is simply a historical piece that the South used in the Civil War. I mean, you look at, Game of Thrones. They have their flags for their battles. I mean, they have their flags for their landmarks, for their countries, and everything else like that. They have their flags. The South had theirs. But because the South also believed in slavery, which that's what it was, and that they hated the blacks, they didn't necessarily hated them. But what is the rebel flag mean to you? I want you to comment below and tell me what it means to you. If you like this video, like it, share, subscribe. Me and Trevor are trying really, really hard to try to open up people's eyes about what's actually going on in the world, what some things actually mean. And if you heard in my last video, I had a rebel flag in my trunk, but I wouldn't be able to wave it. Well, there it is right there. I'm a proud Kentuckian. I'm a proud Southerner. I love the rebel flag. I love what it actually stands for, not what people think it stands for. Hope you all enjoyed, and we'll see you next week when we break down the presidential election.